बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। ओ लेवल का एक टॉपिक है वेरिएशन। तो इसमें दो चीजें आती हैं, डायरेक्ट प्रोपोर्शन एंड इनवर्स प्रोपोर्शन। तो आज हमने पास्ट पेपर्स से इसको समझना है कि इसकी एप्लीकेशन जो है पास्ट पेपर्स में किस तरह से है। तो उसको हम यहाँ पे ये देखें, ये जो क्वेश्चंस हैं, इससे पहले ये क्वेश्चंस करने से पहले एक दो चीजें मैं चाह रहा हूँ कि आपके जहन में रहनी चाहिए, तो फिर ये ज़रा क्लियर हो जाएगा कि इसको किस तरह से यूज करना है। देखिए, ये हम पिछली वीडियो में ये जो डायरेक्ट और इनवर्स प्रोपोर्शन की वीडियोस हैं वो आप देखेंगे तो उसमें आपको अंदाजा हो जाएगा कि डायरेक्ट जो प्रोपोर्शन है उसके लिए डायरेक्ट प्रोपोर्शन में इस तरह से है कि y इज इक्वल टू के एक्स, यानी y इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू x, तो y इज इक्वल टू के एक्स। अब ये डिपेंड करता है कि क्वेश्चन किस तरह का है। कभी दोनों ही चीजें सूट करती हैं, तो ये आप पे डिपेंड करता है कि आपको कौन सी चीज बेहतर लगती है इसको अप्लाई करने में। तो या तो आप ऐसे कर सकते हैं या फिर इसको x1 ओवर y1 इक्वल टू x2 ओवर y2, तो इस फॉर्म में भी, इस फॉर्म में यूज करें या इस फॉर्म में, क्योंकि यहाँ पे k इज इक्वल टू y ओवर x, इस तरह भी आप फाइंड करके k की वैल्यू दोबारा लगा सकते हैं। ये आपके पास दो ऑप्शंस हैं इसको सॉल्व करने के, एक ये और एक ये। इसी तरह से जो इनवर्स प्रोपोर्शन है, इनवर्स प्रोपोर्शन में आप क्या कर सकते हैं कि इसको इनवर्स प्रोपोर्शन, तो उसमें आप एक तो ये फॉर्मूला है y इज इक्वल टू के ओवर x, या आप इसको नंबर वन ये, तो यहां से k इज इक्वल टू एक्स वाई, यानी जब भी इनवर्स प्रोपोर्शन होगा बिटवीन एनी टू क्वांटिटीज, then their product is a constant value, and if there is direct proportion, then the ratio of the quantities is constant. So second way, we can use x1 y1 equal to x2 y2. Now in different questions you can expect the application of direct and inverse proportion, and you can decide by looking at the question whether this form of the formula is more suitable or this one. Similarly, if there is direct proportion, then you can use the formula in this form or in this form. I suggest that don't restrict yourself to any fixed form of formula, because if you have clear understanding, then on the spot you should decide that which one of these forms will be easier for you, and you can apply simultaneously these concepts only if you have very clear concept about these two forms of proportion, direct and inverse. Okay, now we will look at the question, and still I would say that we will apply these formula. Sometimes I will try to apply both of them as a comparison. So let's see. Now this is first question, that here V varies inversely as P. V and P are in inverse proportion. V is proportional to 1 over V. So you can say that P is equal to K over V, and K is equal to PV. As we have discussed here, that y is equal to k over x, then k is equal to xy. So the product of these two quantities is constant because they are inversely proportional to each other. This is the important word in it, that is inverse proportion between P and V. Now P is 3 when V is equal to 1, then K is equal to 3 multiplied by 1, 3. Now we have got value of K. So in this expression, if we substitute K, that will be 3 upon V. So the first part, express V in terms of P, then make V the subject. If V is written on that side, then P will be here. So V in terms of P, that is V is equal to 3 upon P. Now second part, complete the table in the answer space. This table is given. How can we complete it? So once again we refer to these formula. We can apply this formula either in this form or in this form or in this form. So I think this is the most convenient form at the moment. That's what I feel. If you feel that it should be applied in this form, it's up to you. That's what I'm telling, that you should be comfortable at all the forms of formula. You should not restrict yourself to any specific form. So here, if we name them as this is P1, this is P2, and here it is P3, and this is V1, V2, and V3. As they are inversely proportional, so P1, V1, the value of P1 multiplied by V1 must be equal to P2, V2. So we can say that P2, V2 is equal to P1, V1, which we have already found that this is 3 1 3, and here P2 is 5, V2, then V2 is equal to 3 upon 5. So this is the value. We will complete this table by writing 3 upon 5 here. Now again, P3, V3 is equal to, you can place it equal to P1, P2 or P1, V1 or P2, V2. It doesn't make a difference. So now P3 is not given. This value of P3 here, that is unknown, but V3 is given. So we write it here, that is 9 equal to, overall value of P1, V1 is 3. So P3 is 3 upon 9, which is equal to 1 upon 3. So this value is 1 upon 3. So that is the way we can find these values. So you can see that we have applied the formula in this form as well as in this form. Next question, y is directly proportional to x square. Now y is proportional to x square. We can write it here, that y is proportional to x square. I'll write it here. Y is proportional to x square. That means not k directly, but I write it y is equal to kx square. Now what does it say? That it is known that y is equal to 10 for a particular value of x. Now, this is the thing you need to realize and to understand that x and y, these are two variable quantities actually, right? You know that the proportion means these are two variable quantities. If they are variable, then what does this mean? X is actually variable. Particular value of x. What do you think? Will it be variable when we say particular value of x? So when we say particular value of x, that is not variable. This is a specific value. So its value is not given here. That what is that particular value? So what can we do? We say would consider that let the particular value of x be equal to a. So for this particular value, y is equal to 10. This is given, y is 10, and particular value of x is a. This is 10, that is equal to k a square. Then k is equal to 10 over a square. This is the value of k. Okay, now find the value of y when this value of x is halved. What does it mean? Now, if we first of all we replace this k by its value, then y is equal to 10 over a square into x square. This k is replaced by its value. Here you can see that this is k, and this k is replaced here by its value 10 over a square. This is the value of k, 10 over a square. So now what we can do, that what is now given, that x particular, this particular value of x is halved. We have made it half. Then what is y? So if whatever this particular value is, it is halved. So what will be the value of y if that value of x is halved? So what we can do, that y is equal to 10 over a square, this is k, into value of x is 1 over 2 a whole square. So this will be y is equal to 10 over a square, this is the value of k, multiplied by a square over 4, because a is squared, and along with that, when this 2 is squared, that becomes 4. So now you can see that this a square and this a square, they are cancelled. Y is equal to 10 over 4. I can write it directly as 2.5. So what are the answers? Part A, find the value of y. So the value of y for part A is 2.5. Okay, question, same question, second part. 7 men can paint a bridge in 15 days. How long would it take 3 men? Now, if men are 7, it takes 15 days. If the number of men is reduced from 7 to 3, I think it is not a complicated statement which cannot be understood. And then this is a common sense that when number of men is reduced, then number of days will be increased. So this is, you can say that this is an inverse proportion. Inverse proportion in a sense that if number of men is reduced, number of days will be increased. So men, if we represent men by M and days by D, then once again we have two choices to apply this formula what we have discussed here, that we can apply in this form, number one, number two in this form. So at the moment this is x2 and y2. Considering the situation given, I feel that the formula should be applied in this form, m1 d1 equal to m2 d2. M1 is 7 men and it takes 15 days. If I write here the values, number of men, first information about number of men was 7, first information about number of days is 15, and further it is told that men are now 3, M2 is 3, then what is the value of D2? So 7 into 15 is equal to 3 D2. Then D2 is equal to 7 into 15 over 3. So if you simplify, 3 and 15 can be simplified this way, then this number is 35. So this is 35. Okay. Second part says that the bridge was painted in T days. Write down an expression in terms of T for the number of men needed to paint the bridge. Number of men. So now what we can do, that M1 is same 7. M1 is 7, days is number of 15, number of men, that is not told if number of days is T. So once again we can say that 7 into 15 is equal to M2 into T. So M2, or now there is not no M1, so we can say that 105 over T. This is the number of men for T days. So this is the same formula, x1 y1 equal to x2 y2. That is what we have applied here. So the answer is 105 over T. Okay, now the next one, y is directly proportional to the square root of x. Square root of x. Y is proportional to square root of x. That means y is equal to k under root x. Now let's apply the same formula in terms of k. So this is 12 k under root 36, as it is given that y is 12 when x is 36. So square root of 36 is 6, then 6k is equal to 12, k is equal to 2. 12 over 6, that is 2. Okay. Then find the formula in terms of x. Then this is the formula, y is equal to 2 under root x. So as it was the requirement to write it as a formula, not as a ratio, so we can write it this way. This is the formula. So let's write it here. And the answer is y is equal to 2 under root x. Now the next part, find the value of x when y is 10. Now we have got this formula, y 2 under root x. If this is 10, 2 under root x, then under root x is 10 divided by 2 is 5. Then squaring both sides in order to obtain x, so that will be 5 square, 25. So this value of x is 25, for which y is 10. Okay, now the next question, y is inversely proportional to x. Find y. The table shows the values of x and y. Find p. This value is asked. Once again, what we can do, x1, x2, x3, x4, and this is p1, p2, p3, and p4. Y is inversely, not p, these are y. This is y1, y2, y3, and y4. So find the value of p. Now what we can do, x1, as this is inverse proportion. In case of inverse proportion, you can compare the products of the values, product of variables. x1, y1 equal to x2, y2. So let me write x2, y2 first and x1, y1 after that. Then this is 4p is equal to 3 multiplied by 20. Then p is equal to 3 multiplied by 20 over 4. So it becomes 15. So this value is 15. Then it is asked to find q. Where is q? In the third column, x3, y3. Product of these two is once again equal to x1, y1. So x3, y3 is equal to x1, y1. Let me repeat that why we are able to place two sets of products equal to each other, because here it was told that they are in inverse proportion. Proportion between x and y is inverse. In case of inverse proportion, you can place the products equal to each other. So now this is q multiplied by 5 is equal to 3 multiplied by 20. So 5q, let me write it, 5q is equal to 3 20s are 60. Then q is equal to 60 over 5, that becomes 12. So the value of q is 12. Express m in terms of n. Once again, x4, y4 is equal to x1, y1. We can write it this way, x4, y4 is equal to x1, y1. Now x and y is n into m, or I can write it as mn is equal to 60. Then m in terms of n, this is asked. M as a subject. So that will be 60 over n. 60 over n. So that's it. This is the solution. I have solved few of them just to make you realize that this is not a big deal to solve such questions if you have clear concept about their way of expressions, like I have written here, that y is equal to kx, or their ratios are equal, and here If it is inverse proportion, then their products are equal. So look into it very carefully and then ask yourself whether you have understood the topic clearly or not. So there are many more questions in the past papers, but I would suggest that you should try them and just make it sure that you have learned the topic. So, Allah Hafiz.